Hey, what's up? And welcome back to the fourth and final devlog for Tank Tussle!
Let's go.
I know I've been gone for quite some time, but with university and spending time with my family during holiday and playing a bit too much Rain World in my free time, it was hard to find time to work on the game. Though last week I had some extra time, so I managed to get it into a state which is still a bit buggy, but it is playable. But we shouldn't begin with the conclusion, so first let's talk about everything I added since the last devlog. You know, before we get onto the interesting stuff, let's start with some minor changes. But talking about them one after the other is kinda boring, so let's do a speed run. The category is all new additions %. Alright, let's go! First I made the bullets collide with the tank and deal damage to it. Next up I synced the particle systems from when you charge your shots. Look at that, whoa! I changed the bullet collisions from colliders to raycast. Didn't work, changed it back. Fixed the bug where you can shoot through walls. Worked on the health bars, also didn't work. Fixed it. Finally I made the charge shots deal more damage than the normal bullets. And time. You know, 21 seconds ain't bad. Alright, now on to the more interesting things. Like this, empty ass arena. We can't have this for the final release, so we're just gonna put a thingy over there, put a thingy over there, and with some more editing magic, whoa! Look at that! An arena with some foliage and obstacles. Perfect. You know, up until now, multiplayer works fine if you play on one computer with 2 instances of Unity running. And while that may work fine for testing purposes, it won't if people want to play the game with others, like on their own computer. I won't bore you with all the details, cause it's not that interesting to set it up. All you need to know is after I press some magic buttons, you can now play the game with people all around the world. One person just has to create a room, and the other can join that lobby. There is one issue, however. The host cannot actually see what the join code is, as during testing I just copied the code from the console. And there are more small issues like that, so let's add a bit of polish to the game so it's actually playable and not just a glorified PowerPoint slide. First off, I made the join code visible for the host when he's the only one in the lobby. I also made the host not able to move, as up until now the host could already start moving through the map before somebody joined. So now when you create a lobby, you can see the join code here, and if you want to move. Next up, I added the option to pick your color in the selection screen. If you now join a lobby, not only can you see your own tank change, you can also see the color of your opponent. Cool. Speaking of the selection screen, it is a bit boring, so I added a title object and I made the white area quite a bit smaller. Aesthetically, it's not that pretty, but it's functional and I'm happy with it, so that's good enough. I also decided to add 3 more colors, as it was quite easy to do and it gives the player a bit more variation to choose from. I've added this pink one, a white one, and a black one for all of you without a soul. And I added those to the selection screen. I've also added this sparkly golden tank, but I'm the only one who can equip it. I'll give you the secret code if you pay me. Next up, I added this really simple AI generated music track. Again, it's not fantastic, but music and sounds aren't my forte, so I'm fine with it. I'll let you listen to it for a bit. Here you go. I've also added these 8-bit shooting sound effects, which every small indie game developer uses, as I'm not a sound engineer. But I like them, so it's fine. And I mean, listen to this. That's pretty satisfying. The game also still has some bugs, which kind of make the game unplayable to an extent. But I'm not really planning to fix them. Oi, editing me from the future here. I ended up fixing all of these bugs because they were annoying the hell out of me. So you can kinda just ignore the next part, but I will pop up every now and again to explain some more things. I will tell you what they are though. The first one isn't that game breaking, as it's more of just a visual thing, as the bullets for the client don't equip the right materials, so it's purely an aesthetic thing. Yeah, so now this works. Here's the client with all of the bullets looking nice and beautiful. Next up is quite a big issue, and that's the game will not actually end. So when one person has less than 0 HP, the game will just continue on playing. And if you want to close the game, you just have to press Alt F4. Me again, I've added this really simple text that just displays victory or defeat, and then just forces the program to Alt F4 itself into oblivion. So if you want to play another round, too bad, you have to boot up the program again, but you have to do that either way. Lastly, there are 3 tanks, but the game will not actually work unless you both select the same tank. So if one person wants to use the light tank and the other one wants to use the heavy, you are out of luck, because it's either you both play the same tank or you don't play at all. Oh, you past dingus me. I fixed that too. You can now pick any tank you want and the game won't break anymore. But with all of that said, I will consider the game finished, as right now you can play with somebody else around the world, and while it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, I did learn a lot about how to make an online multiplayer game using Unity. If you want to play the game for yourselves, I will leave the itch.io page in the description. All you need to play is somebody to play it with, but I cannot really help with that. Unless you want to play it with me, then I can help. If you made it this far into the video, how about you tell me in the comments what you would like to see me do next? Not that I will do anything with it, because I already know what I will do for my next game. If you want to know what it is, you will have to wait a bit longer. All I can say right now is that it's a bit more active than this project. But if I say too much, I will ruin the surprise, and that's not fun. And that's actually the end of the video. I would like to thank you for supporting these devlogs, and I'll talk to you later.